Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Rachel. If this is your first time here, welcome. And if it's not your first time here, thanks for coming back. So today, I am going to be doing 2 looks with the Wicked Widow Beauty SCISSORHANDS 2 palette. Super excited to showcase this palette. It is an absolutely gorgeous wintry dream color story. I also love the movie Edward Scissorhands, so the theme got me. But I will say, just alone on the palette, I was very intrigued when I saw them post pictures of this palette. I knew I wanted to pick it up, and they actually contacted me and asked me if they could send it to me. So I did receive this in PR, so thank you to Wicked Widow Beauty for sending this over. This video is not sponsored though, so I am gonna give you my true thoughts, of course, and you're gonna get to see it in action. If you do enjoy makeup content, if you enjoy indie brands, I would definitely suggest subscribing to my channel. I do showcase a lot of indie eyeshadow palettes, especially on this channel. And while you're watching this video, if you enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up. That helps me out a lot. Okay, so let's talk about the palette a little bit. So this palette is the SCISSORHANDS Palette 2. It does retail for $52, although at this moment when I'm filming this video, which is January 10th, it is sold out. I don't know if they're gonna bring it back. I'm not sure what's going on, but at this moment it is sold out. It is vegan and cruelty-free. It includes 8 mattes and 8 duochromes / multi-chromes. I absolutely love the cover art with the hedges that are cut out in dinosaurs and a reindeer and the mansion in the background. I think it's so pretty. I love the movie. I already said that like 5 times. And I love the color story. I think it's so gorgeous. So what you are looking at is look number 2. You're looking at look number 2. Spoiler alert, I love this look. But we're gonna roll the tape. You're gonna see look number 1 and then look number 2. And then I will see you back at the end for my final thoughts. Let me know down in the comments what your favorite look is that I do. And also let me know if you picked this palette up or if you skipped out on it. I would love to know down in the comments. And everything I'm wearing in both looks, I will link down in the description box. I will also link this palette as well. Okay, so I'm super excited to do my first look with the palette. And I'm thinking I wanna do like blue and purples, make it a little smoky, little winged out. That's kind of what I'm feeling today, so that's what we're gonna do. I'm feeling like an ice princess. I might add a couple of rhinestones. I'm feeling it, you know? It's 40 degrees out here, so I'm cold. So I'm gonna go in first with the shade Peg, this really pretty purple with a really fluffy brush from BK Beauty. I'm just gonna put that through the crease. By the way, I have already primed my eyes with the Rare Beauty Eye Primer. Prior to this, I've only ever tried one Wicked Widow Beauty palette. They did send me their alternative palette, and I didn't really use it that much because it had a lot of pressed glitters in it, which I just don't use pressed glitters. So I didn't really get a chance to fully use the palette. I did use all the other shades in the palette, but I really didn't reach for the palette very much. So kind of don't really know what their formula is like. Have you tried the brand before? If you have, let me know your experience. Okay, that seemed to go on pretty easily. I actually want to take the shade Snowflakes, this really pretty light blue, and put it more towards the inner part of my crease. A lot picked up on the brush, and I'm just gonna tuck it more in here. I'm gonna just deepen it up slightly more with the shade Mansion right here. How many of you love the movie Edward Scissorhands? I love it. I love it. I watch it every year. Actually, for some reason, I think of it more like a Halloween movie. So I watch it at Halloween every year, or, you know, in the month of October. It's a classic for me. I do love that movie. What about you? So I'm just placing this in the outer corner, and then I'm just trying to kind of wing it out a little bit. With my eye shape, I find it really hard to do that because of the way my eye folds, but I'm doing my best. And I'm bringing it about halfway in. I'm gonna go back in with that fluffy brush and just blend the edge. So this eye had a little bit harder of a time blending that purple on there, but it's partially due to my eye. Like this left eye, sometimes it's really hard for it to grab onto shadow. I think it's just, this eye is aging, so kind of the folds of it, and there's like dry spots. it is harder typically to put eyeshadow on this eye. So that's kind of like partially my eye's fault, but I will say that dark purple wasn't like the easiest purple to blend. It doesn't look great on this eye. This eye looks okay. Again, it's not like amazing, but this eye looks pretty decent. This eye looks terrible, but we're just gonna have to live with it because it's just the problem of my eye aging. I'm gonna go in very, very, very lightly with the shade Bells, this like bright blue. And I'm gonna put this in the crease in the inner part where I put that other lighter blue with a really small brush. And I'm gonna tap it off a lot. I wanna just go slow and build it up just to bring that blue in. Okay, I'm gonna put on the NYX glitter primer and we're gonna play with some of these shimmers. So I think I'm gonna use these two here. Okay, so on the outer part of my lid, I'm gonna put the shade Ice Dance, this like bluish purple. Just gonna pick that up on my finger. It's definitely a textured shimmer. Wow, that's really pretty. Very reflective. I'm actually gonna take a brush just to get a little more precise. And I'm just gonna really make sure, get it where I want it. Well, I definitely brought that way too high up. So that's my bad. But it's okay, we're gonna work with it. All right, next I'm gonna go in with the shade Razor Sharp up here. I'm gonna put that on the rest of my lid. Ooh, this is so pretty. Almost like a gunmetal with the blue undertone. Oh yeah, look at that. Beautiful. Wow, that shimmer is so pretty. All right, I'm gonna pop off camera. I'm gonna put on liner and the rest of my face and everything else, and I will come back and we can finish up with the lower lash line. Okay, everything else that I put on my face, I will link down in the description box below if you are curious. So let's finish up the lower lash line. So let's go in with a really, really tiny brush into the shade Mansion, that dark purple, and I'm gonna push that up against the lower lash line. I'm gonna take a pencil brush from Blend Bunny, and now I'm gonna go into the shade Peg and just smudge that out. I have a tiny little fluffy brush, and I'm gonna go into the shade Snowflakes, that really pretty light blue, and I'm just going to smoke it out even more. I'm so happy that there is a super bright inner corner highlight in this palette, the shade The Bogs right here. It looks like a white. Ooh, this is a multi-chrome. It's white with blue and pink, which hopefully you would have seen in the swatches. Wow, that's super pretty. Ooh, wow. Beautiful. Oh, I love that. Okay, so I'm gonna put that in my inner corner. It does seem like not a super chunky shade. So I'm gonna try to go in without spraying the brush. Let's just see what it looks like. Wow, that's really pretty. I'm actually going to spray the brush and let's see what that does. Yeah, that helped to intensify it for sure. That's a gorgeous shade, really gorgeous. In my waterline, I'm just gonna put black. This is from ColourPop. This is the shade Swerve. All right, and this is the finished look. What do we think? I think it looks really pretty. So I just popped on a couple of rhinestones from this ColourPop Crystal Face Jewels set, just to add a little pop of something, you know? I didn't go too crazy with it. Yeah, I mean, my first impression is I think the shimmers are really beautiful. The two shimmers that I used were or 3 shimmers, I should say, because I use this one for the inner corner. Really shiny, really impactful. The ones that are on my lid, Ice Dance and Razor Sharp, are very sparkly, very metallic. And I love this one, the Bogs, this multi-chrome, because it's like a smooth multi-chrome. So I feel like it would be really pretty even as a face highlight. That would be gorgeous. Love the shimmers, love. These mattes were good. They were a little harder to blend. Like when I went off camera, I did spend a little more time blending, and I actually did end up reaching into another palette to get a matte white just to blend like the top. I wasn't like super happy with how the top looked, so I did want to just clean it up a little bit. They were good though. I'm not saying they were bad at all by any means, but were they like the best mattes I've ever used? No. But again, they are blue and purple shades, so that is a little bit harder. It seems like I have a harder time blending those colors typically on me. So anyway, love the look. So far, first impression, I'm really excited. And my next look, I kind of think I want to play with more of like the neutral tones, just because I love when I can get a neutral look out of a palette. So I'm wondering if I can do that with this. So you are going to be seeing look 2 right now, and it'll be way in the future for me though. Look number 2, look number 2, look number 2. Okay, let's do look number 2. I kind of was telling you guys I want to do something more on the neutral side. And I did end up doing the swatches yesterday, and I swatched out this shimmer, which one? Imperfect. And it's a very interesting shimmer. It is a shifty shade. It's got a really light nude base to it with blue sparkles. It's really interesting. So I think I want to use that today, but I don't know how good it's going to look on just like a bare lid. So we're going to start with the shade Blend and Blend, this like greenish baby poop brownie goodness, and I'm gonna start that through my crease. I've already primed my eyes with the Rare Beauty Eye Primer, and I wanted to let you know in case it mattered to you. It doesn't bother me, but the first look that I did, the shades did stain my eyes. In particular, the shade Mansion, that deeper purple, it did stain my eyelids. Even still, I can see a little bit of staining, and it's been a couple of days, so anyway, just in case you're wondering, in case it matters to you. I'm gonna take a slightly smaller blending brush with that same shade Blend and Blend, and I'm just gonna put it a little more concentrated in the crease area, just to try to create a gradient with this one shade, because I'm only gonna use 2 matte shades today. Yep, that was very effortless and easy to blend. I'm actually gonna take that same brush with that same shade, and I'm gonna run this on the lower lash line as well. Why the heck not? We're here, right? Might as well. On the eyes, this shade shows up very olive green, which I'm definitely not complaining about because I love that. But it's a little unexpected for this color story, so I think that's really fun. I'm gonna take a more densely packed brush. I'm gonna go into the shade Scars, this more like brown with a purple undertone. I'm gonna put this all over my lid, like a base for that shade that we're gonna use as the shimmer. Yep, and this one shows up quite purple on me. I'm gonna put that all over my lid as well as just into the crease, but keeping it pretty low. Ooh, that's pretty. See, that would even be pretty just as an all matte look for like a smoky eye. I'm gonna take a little flat definer brush and I'm gonna go into that same shade Scars, and I'm just going to push this up against my lower lash line, keeping it more on the outer third of my eye. I love that as just an all matte look, but we're gonna try out the shimmer. But first I'm gonna put on the NYX Glitter Primer all over the lid, really like the inner to the two-thirds, that made no sense. From the inner corner, about 2/3 of the way out on my lid. I'm just gonna use my finger to start. I'm gonna use the shade Imperfect right here. That looks so pretty. It's a multi-chrome that goes purple to blue, but like I said, it has like a nude base. Ooh, look at that. Wow, is that beautiful? Wow, is that beautiful? I'm gonna go in with that shade Imperfect for my inner corner just to see what it looks like. I may need to go over it with that lighter shade just to brighten it up, but let's see what it looks like. Yeah, it's a little just like piecey, not my favorite thing for an inner corner highlight. So I'm gonna go in to that shade, the Bogs, the one that I used in the first look, as my inner corner highlight. That's really, really pretty. Okay, I'm gonna pop off camera. Let me get all the finishing touches together and I will be right back. Okay, so here is the finished look number 2. I love this look. I love that shimmer on the lid. It looks so beautiful. I did a look with the Nomad Cosmetics Santa's Village palette that looked very similar to this. There was a shade in the palette that was very similar to this on the eyes, but I like the shimmer in this more actually. It's a lot more smooth. It's not as dry. It's really creamy, and I swatched all of the shades obviously in this palette. I'm just gonna give you my thoughts now. We're going into the thoughts section. The shimmers in this are unbelievable. They're absolutely stunning. I can just tell by swatching them. They are fully opaque. They are creamy. They are sparkly. Not one of these shimmers felt dry or felt like a dud. They all felt really good. And I used how many? 4 shimmers on my eyes. I didn't use the other 4. Automatically, the shimmers in this are unbelievable. The mattes that I used today had absolutely no issues. No fallout on any of the mattes I used in either look. So that's really nice if you like to do your face first. You're not gonna really have to worry about tons of fallout on your face. I will say I wish that there were more lighter shimmers because a lot of these shimmers are very deep. There's only maybe a couple that were a little bit more on the light side. And it's just my preference. Like I prefer a light shimmer or even a light or a mid-tone shimmer. I don't really get a lot of use out of dark shimmers, and there's a lot of dark shimmers in here. But with that being said, I think this palette is absolutely beautiful. I'm really excited that I got to try out this brand and try out a palette that has no pressed glitters in it because I don't like pressed glitters. And like I said before, the last palette that they sent me, I didn't use because there was a lot of pressed glitters. So I think this is really beautiful. If you like the color story, I don't think you would be disappointed, especially if you like very impactful, sparkly shimmers. And if you like mattes that are, you know, they're not overly pigmented where they were difficult to blend. They were good amount of pigment. Like I did say in the first look, this dark purple was a little harder to blend, but it wasn't anything that was unmanageable or anything like that. So I'm going to continue to use this palette. I always do a palette ranking video every month or so after I've tested a batch of palettes enough to give you my final thoughts. I want to continue to use this more because I don't have my final thoughts. I haven't used every shade. I definitely want to use the green shades down here. Yeah, I love this look. I love this look. I think it's so pretty. And I liked the other one too, but this one's a little more me. I don't know. I feel like me in it. Let me know your thoughts about this palette. Did you pick it up? Are you thinking of picking it up? Do you want to pick it up? Are you going to skip out on it? Have you tried this brand before? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. And thank you again to Wicked Widow Beauty for sending this over my way. I really appreciate it. I'm so glad, like I said, I got to try your brand and had a really good experience so far with it. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. That helps me out a lot when you do that. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, I would love if you would consider subscribing before you leave. I do upload videos weekly, and I would love to see you back on my channel again. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.